We'll start with a few basics of linear equations. I'm going to write down a few examples here. So let's start with this. Now remember that we have to solve for the unknown. So here the unknown, there's only one, and it's called a linear equation because the exponent on the unknown is 1. X is x to the 1. That's why it's called a linear equation. So remember that the goal is to get x by itself. That's the whole point of this problem, getting x by itself. If you can get x by itself, then you've solved for x. So the way we go about solving for x is kind of the opposite of PEMDAS. Whatever PEMDAS does, we are kind of undoing it. So it's always subtraction or addition first and usually multiplication last. So it's in the opposite direction of PEMDAS. So let's do this. So remember, 2 is multiplied to x. We'll deal with that later. Do the subtraction first. So we subtract 3 on both sides because the point is to remove everything and keep x on one side. Either side is fine. Whatever you do on the left, you do the exact same thing on the right. Now, what is 3 minus 3? If it's the same quantity and opposite signs, it becomes a 0, right? And negative 5 minus 3, remember in chapter 1, you did addition and subtraction of negative numbers and integers. So we need to do this first. So negative 5 minus 3, both are negative. So add the 5 and the 3. And remember, your final answer will be a negative. So now let's see what happens in the next step. 2x is equal to negative 8. So remember the goal again, getting x by itself. Now the only thing left is the 2, but the 2 is multiplied to x. The opposite of multiplication is division. We've done this before. And whatever you do on the left, you do on the right. So cancel the 2's and you get x is equal to negative 8 over positive 2. Opposite signs. So the negative prevails. 2 goes 4 times into 8 and your answer is negative 4. We've another quick example here. Again, we need to solve for x. This is a linear equation because the exponent on x is 1. And remember, it's the opposite of PEMDAS. Addition or subtraction first. Last would be division or multiplication. So the first thing we're going to get rid of, remember, everything except x has to go. So the opposite of subtraction is addition. So we add 5 on both sides to get rid of the 5 on the left. And the next step is negative 5 plus 5 is 0. So the next step is negative 3x. And negative 7 plus 5. If they're opposite signs, you know the negative is going to prevail because that's the higher number. And negative 7 plus 5 is 2. 7 minus 5 is 2. So now what we do next is divide both sides by negative 3, because we need to get rid of the negative 3, and cancel the negative 3's and you get x by itself, and that's equal to 2 negatives make a positive, whether it's multiplication or division, so it becomes positive 2/3. Now what if we had 7 minus x equals maybe a negative 1. So we need to get x by itself. We need to get rid of the 7. So we subtract 7 on both sides. Whatever you do on the left, we need to do the exact thing on the same thing on the right. But remember why we are subtracting 7. The whole idea is to get x by itself. So the next step, the 7's cancel each other out because positive 7 plus negative 7 is 0. And then we have negative x equals negative 8. Because both are negative, we have negative 7 plus 1, 8. Now we need to get x by itself. Now we need to get rid of the negative sign. This is the same as having a negative 1 multiplied to x. So negative x, I'm going to write it here, is the same as negative 1 times x. So you can do one of two things. You could multiply both sides by negative 1. So let's see how that works. So you have negative x, and I'm going to multiply with negative 1, and that's equal to negative 1, and I'm going to multiply the right side with negative 1 as well, and that's exactly what we're doing here. So the negative times negative becomes a positive x, and that's exactly what we want. We need to find the value of positive x, not negative x. The negative times negative is positive 8. So that's one way of doing it. Now let me show you an alternative. Negative x equals negative 8. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 1, because negative x is the same as negative 1 times x. So that's negative 1. Negative times negative is positive. Negative divided by negative, you also get a positive x, equals negative over a negative is positive 8. So either way, you get the exact same answer. Now let's do something with fractions. We have negative 5 minus x over 5 equals negative 7, let's say. Okay, so we have to get x by itself again. Remember, multiplication and division is last. First, we need to do addition or subtraction, and our whole point is to get rid of anything on the left that is not x. So we have a negative 5, and the only way to get rid of it is by adding a 5 on both sides. So negative 5, positive 5, opposite signs, same number is a 0. So those two cancel each other out. We have negative x over 5 is equal to opposite signs. The bigger number is negative, so we have negative 2. Now we need to get rid of the negative sign and the 5. Again, a couple of ways in which you could do this. First, you could do it in 2 steps. Let's do that, and you'll see how to take a shortcut once we do that. So we have negative x over 5. Okay, and remember that 5 is in the denominator. How do you get rid of something that's in the denominator? You multiply with the reciprocal. So we have the exact same number in the numerator. Do the same thing on the right side. We multiplied both sides by 5. So we get rid of the 5, and we have negative x equals negative 10. And now we get rid of the negative sign. We could multiply both sides with a negative 1, multiply with a negative 1. Negative times negative is positive x equals positive 10. So x is equal to 10. One more example with fractions. Oh, I'm sorry, that should be a 3 and this is a 4. Okay, let's look at negative 3 minus 2/3 x equals 9. Okay, so again, exactly the same thing. The whole point is to get x by itself. Addition or subtraction first. We need to get rid of the negative 3. So you add the 3 to get a 0. Do the exact same thing. Don't forget to do the exact same thing on the right. 9 plus 3 is 12. Both are positive, and your final answer is positive. You add the 9 and the 3 to get your 12. So what we have now, and every step write down the equation just like we did before, equals, and then you get a 12. Now we need to get rid of the negative 2/3. You can do it all in one step. Now, negative 2/3 is the number. It's a fraction. What you do next is take the reciprocal of this number. What's the reciprocal? It's the negative of, and flip the fraction 3/2 and multiply it to the negative 2/3. When you multiply a number with the reciprocal, you get 1, and that's how you get rid of the negative 2/3. So now we have 12, and we do the exact same thing. Remember the number that we multiplied on the left, and it's the negative of. Put a multiplication sign so you're not confused, especially when there are negatives. Just put a clear multiplication sign, and then you go negative 3/2. So what happens when you multiply a number with the reciprocal? Cancel, the negative and the negative become positive. So you get positive x equals, and then you can cancel common factors. If not, just use your calculator. 2 times 6 is 12, 6 times negative 3 is negative 18.